Hi guys, hope you're well. So it's time for another honest vlog, and today I thought I'd talk about cheating, and this is from the perspective of someone that's been cheated on in the past. I thought I'd do it because I figure there's a lot of people that can probably relate to this or have experienced this, but if you're watching this and you're someone that's actually been the cheater, don't think this is going to be a video just me slamming you and putting you down and saying you're awful human beings. It's not going to go that way. So I thought I'd go back to the first time it happened, and this was with my first boyfriend. So yeah, like in most of my life, I'm a bit of a late bloomer, and I'd waited till I had my first boyfriend. I had kind of seen someone, but I don't think I liked him very much because I used to run away from him. I used to not answer his phone calls, and it was just hugely awkward around him, so I don't really count that one. I really liked this guy and was so happy because I was like, finally, it's happened. And there had been a big kind of run up to us making it official and him actually asking me out, which was very exciting at the time. So when I found out that he'd kissed someone else, I did find out through someone else, sadly, and I was absolutely distraught. I found out in the common room at sixth form, so it was quite dramatic at the time. I remember bawling my eyes out and just being so upset about it. And I think at that age, I'd invested a lot in this because obviously I had waited so long, and I'd made sure that this was someone I really kind of trusted and thought a lot of. So that was a big blow, and I think it just really shocked me because it was my first experience of anything like this happening, so I didn't really know how to cope with it. But I seem to remember the thing that really got me was the fact that I had to find out through other people, because I felt like such a fool. I felt like everyone knew but me, or people had been talking about it, or they were pitying me in some way, and that I seem to remember that being one of the big feelings, as well as obviously being just devastated and feeling a bit sorry for myself. But the reason I wanted to recall this story is because it didn't kind of pan out how you might presume. You might think that, okay, it's over, didn't talk to that guy again, hated him, etc. It actually turned into a really kind of intertwined, complicated tale, where the girl that he cheated on me with, he ended up going out with, but she ended up cheating on him with the guy that was his friend, who had comforted me when I was devastated from the split. So it was a very complicated web, a lot of hurt, a lot of betrayal, and got weird. But the fact remains that I ended up being very good friends with the guy that did the cheating, and this is why. I thought to myself, do I want him in my life still? Do I enjoy his company? And it was a resounding yes. Do I still trust him in terms of a friend? And the answer was yes, I definitely did. The main thing was he a good guy that had made a bad decision or made a slip? Or was he a bad guy just being bad and horrible and mean? And he was definitely the first. I think working that out is kind of a way of knowing how you should react when something like this happens. I think when you're young, you tend to operate in a few different ways. You might be different, this is just my personal take. You're either so besotted because it's at that age where you're having those really intense, overwhelming crushes and lusts and everything, all your hormones going, or because it's your first love, you're just like so into it and so deeply into it, you think it's your whole world. So you're either so crushed and devastated, you go a bit loopy and you go have a meltdown and think you're never going to find love again. So you either go down that route, or you're so besotted with them that you forgive them maybe a little bit too quickly, and you presume it's something that you did wrong. You must have not given them something, or not done enough, or not been pretty enough, or not given them enough of your stuff. Well, you're so embarrassed because how you've been treated, you like say see you later, whatever, I don't need you, even though actually you do still like them and you do still want them in your life, and you are really sad about it. So there are just a few of the reactions I remember I having and other people in that age group having at the time when they got cheated on and things like that. And just a reminder, I remember when the girls cheated at school, I remember she'd be called a tart or a slag or whatever. The boys never did, and I wonder if that has changed. Generation of now, tell me, does that still happen? Probably does. So yeah, that was my introduction into what it's like to be cheated on. Even though I was really good friends with the guy that did it, and we're still friends and I love him to bits and there's no bad feelings, I was sad about it because it did kind of make me lose that Disney-like optimism about love and romance. It kind of made it a bit more gritty, a bit more real, and just less nice really. But I think it was important that I learned that early on. I don't know, because it probably wasn't great for me to grow up like that wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and thinking everything is perfect, because it's not always. Things happen, things go wrong, and I am sure that did make me stronger and I learnt things from it. Cliche as it sounds, I'm really sure I did. So if you have just been cheated on and you're young, don't fret, it's not going to be the end of the world, promise you. The next sort of cheating was kind of different because, you know, these days, and even back when I was younger, you would sometimes just see someone. So you weren't exclusive, you were just kind of hanging out, you know, but in a romantic way. And I saw this guy for actually quite a few years. I guess you call it open relationship or whatever. I wasn't seeing anyone else. I'm not someone that can give my heart and body to multiple people. I like to be devoted to one person if I am. That said, the good things about these kind of relationships is that you maintain quite a lot of independence. So I didn't feel like I had to be in that person's pocket all the time. I could crack on with my work, see my friends whenever I wanted, and there wasn't that kind of pressure to see them all the time, do coupley things all the time. So that was a good aspect. But the problem was he was very much into the fact that, you know, he could be with multiple people whenever he wanted all the time. And the only thing that I said was, if we're going to do this, you've got to be honest all the time, completely honest. And of course, you can see where this is going. Assured me he was all the time, and more often than not wasn't, and it actually turned into a really toxic, horrible situation. And that relationship made me realise that some people are just bad eggs, and some people just don't have much respect or kind of care for other people's hearts and people's feelings. And although it was horrible, I know now what I want in my life, what I can handle in terms of relationships, what my boundaries are. And I think I'll be good at spotting those people that are just not nice people, and the people that are mean cheaters, like the bad, horrible cheaters that don't have any kind of regret or sympathy towards the people they do it to. And that again is what I'm trying to tell you, there is a difference. In terms of relationship styles, we all have different views on things. We're all very different humans, different people, different, you know, preferences. So I don't judge anyone in terms of what they want out of a relationship or what they believe is right and what the rules should be. But I think it's very key that they're compatible with the person that you end up with, and you're with someone that is sympathetic and respectful of what you believe and what you want, or that you're happy with the kind of the compromise that you're both making to meet in the middle. You often find that you and your friends have different views on all sorts of topics. And this is always a hot topic amongst girls, and the opinion of how you react to being cheated on and the opinion of what you do, it's like the opinion is vastly different. Some people will consider a text to a girl cheating, for example, and that would be an instant split. Other people will consider going to a strip club cheating. Other people won't like them reading, you know, lads mags. Other people consider a kiss worse than, you know, sleeping with someone. So everyone's view of what cheating, for a start, is completely different, and therefore people's reaction to being cheated on is also extremely different. So when you find out that you've been cheated on and the news is out there, or you've told your friends, you've got to kind of prepare yourself that their advice or what they'd advise you to do might be different to what you want to do and what you feel is right. And obviously you've got to take into consideration that they're looking after your feelings, they want the best for you, they're trying to kind of give you the best advice, but also they might be putting their opinions on you. So you've also got to have that in mind. And I always think that it's kind of your decision, because I know I don't want to look back and regret not trying to make something better, or not trying to improve something, or giving something another go. I'd rather regret doing something than not doing something. So then it's on me. I can't like curse that friend that convinced me not to try something again. And I think as I've got older, I've learned that it's not a black and white thing with cheating, because there's other factors you've got to consider. Like I said, it's the whole, are they a good person that's made a bad decision, or are they a bad person that will make bad decisions for your entire relationship and make you feel bad for your entire relationship? You've also got to look at the relationship. Was it struggling beforehand? Were you guys in a bad place? Was something lacking in the relationship? Was that person in a huge amount of stress and turmoil, or going through something really hard, say like a bereavement? Perhaps they're an addict, perhaps they're really stressed, perhaps they've got health issues. Any of these things can have an effect on, you know, your mental capabilities, how you function, and whether you're making right decisions. So these days, I think if it ever happened again, I would consider those factors. I've also got to think of my own happiness. Do I think the relationship is worth salvaging? Do I think there's enough good stuff there to work on that, you know, it's worth trying and putting in the effort? Is there something I could be doing to make things better? So all I'm saying is, because I'm an adult and because I've been through a bit in the last few years, I think my perspective has changed a bit on it, and it wouldn't be a cut and dry thing. And I would consider all the elements and all the factors. Of course, you've got to use a bit of the gut as well, because the gut is usually quite wise. So the aftermath of being cheated on. I know a lot of people say that, you know, they lack trust, they find it hard to go into relationships because they worry it's going to happen again. I'm lucky that I've never really had that. Like the relationship I'm in now, I've got no jealousy or trust issues whatsoever. I just don't even think about it. And I think the key is, there's some people you meet and you just know that you're going to be all right, and whatever happens, you know, you'll work it out, that it's never going to be a mean or malicious kind of environment. And yeah, I'm not someone that's ever been very jealous, really. So I'm lucky in that way, but I have seen it really affect people. They become, you know, not wanting to go out. They feel really bad about themselves, presume it was their fault, think that they're not attractive enough, or not that they're not a good girlfriend. And they're just scared to kind of make that dive into a new relationship or put themselves out there on the dating scene again. And that's such a shame, because yeah, it may happen again, but there's a lot of lovely stuff that can happen on that journey too. And you know, life is a roller coaster. There's going to be peaks and troughs, but it's like learning how to deal with them, kind of adapting to them, getting something positive out of them. I've waffled, haven't I? How long has this been? About an hour already? I don't have a watch on. If you have been someone that's cheated, I'd love to know your story. Were you struggling with something in your relationship or in your life at the time? Was it a reflection of how you felt about that person, or was it more about how you felt about yourself? If you've been cheated on, how has it affected you in relationships moving forward, and your self-esteem, and your view of the sex that you're trying to date? So yeah, it'd be nice to hear your stories, your own personal tales, how you've coped with it. So yeah, so I'll shut up now. And let me know if any other topics you'd like me to, I don't know, waffle on about in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.